What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Poseidon. His name is NJORD. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is the Rapl. He will Rapl all over you with his Odin on this auspicious of days. The map is Tundra. This is the round of 16 for the Champions League qualifiers. I was getting ahead of myself there. The Champions League qualifiers. Why was I getting ahead of myself? Well, the loser of this match will have to will be not out of the tournament. They will have another shot at the at some sort of prize money. It's going to be that they will be going into the Challengers League. With the winner of this match, of this series, will be going into the Champions League to face the likes of Chemo, Scardy, Ulysses, Nullus, Shadowfax. It's going to be an incredibly exciting time to be alive. I'm excited to see this matchup. This is going to be a fireworks matchup. Rapl, one of the best, if not the best, Odin player currently playing, definitely has a very deep understanding of the strategic elements of this civilization, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to bring in this game. NJORD, on the other hand, he is Baby Matrius, is what a lot of people like to refer to him as. Baby Matrius. Why? He is Poseidon main. I believe NJORD is one of the best anti-Egyptian specialists out there. I definitely, in my experience playing against NJORD, he's definitely one of the best anti-Egyptians playing as Poseidon. But he does have a little bit of some troubles against the civilizations such as Uranus, and I have seen him struggle from time to time against Norse, which is, I think, why we saw NJORD actually going with Zeus against Odin King. In the recent round, he played against Odin King, and he played Zeus for that entire matchup. We do see him wanting to try his luck out here with Poseidon. He's not going with the Zeus here to try and counter Rapl's Odin here, and he's not trying to push Rapl off of Odin into one of his off picks by scaring him with some strong Zeus play. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen here from NJORD's perspective, what he's got in store to try and deal with the early game of Odin, which is a very difficult thing to deal with, and not only just the early game, but also the mid game and the late game and every part of the game. This is the big question here in this matchup, is when really does Poseidon have advantage over Norse? When is it? My current working theory, as we see Freya coming through for Rapl, is that Poseidon's absolute best option in this matchup, taking without the idea of having outplay potential, just simply from a strategic point of view, is that Poseidon should be attempting to do some sort of semi-fast heroic. Why? Because the Norse player needs to commit, generally speaking, into mass infantry or mass cavalry. If they commit into either one of those two, then a fast heroic through Aphrodite, unlocking counter units to those raiding cavalry or Ulfsark, so you can make a pacifist or you can make Prodromus, is going to be enough to give you a big advantage in the heroic age. Plus also Curse slows them down. So some sort of semi-fast heroic here is what I want to see from NJORD. We'll see if he's going to go for it. We do see that classical age comes through, as well as Rapl picking up the Bridle of a Pegasus. As if Odin doesn't have enough map hacks already in this game. He's got the double Raven. He's searching out over here. We do see the Centaur coming through to clean up one of those Ravens. Rapl's other Raven going to be searching around here as well. But he's going to be having himself a Pegasus to boot here as the Longhouse is coming up for Rapl. We do see straight away a stable coming down for NJORD. He's getting himself out his Hippolyta as well. Villagers coming through. We see the Theseus sitting on this food location over here, and NJORD is going to have to make a decision now where to send these villagers as he moves them back into his main base. sort of like small efficiencies here that NJORD could do, which I think a lot of players could look into doing as well, is things like he's got these villagers over on this wood line here. He could just move these bad boys up onto this hunt and move these villagers over onto this wood line. Yes, he would then have a whole bunch of more villagers on this wood line, but he would have an easier time of it. He would have more resources in the bank. And not only that, you can see where the Raven is. You can see where all the line of sight is. You're easily going to be able to pull the villagers off if a forest fire comes through. And you can just then move all of them over onto this wood line. And you've already got the storehouse down, and it's all good. Very small efficiencies there, but it doesn't really matter in the slightest. It's just something that I noticed from a lot of players. I see Atlantean players doing it really, really well. I don't see it very often from the vanilla civilizations. So you don't see players going to swap their villages from one thing to the other. As we do see the initial Ulfsark starting to come out here for Rapl. He's getting himself Lone Wanderer. He's getting himself medium infantry. The double Hippocon going to be searching around for something to raid here. If we actually check out NJORD's perspective here, his Katoskopos has not done really enough scouting here. He sees that the units aren't over here. He sees there's nothing over here. He's probably doing this kind of abuse in the main base. As we do see the initial raids coming through here for the Ulfsark, going to be attempting to snipe down the Theseus. The villagers get pulled off of the Aurochs there. Forest fire getting dropped down onto this location. Going to be getting a little bit of damage done over onto the center. There is one Ulfsark does get taken down. Part of me doesn't particularly like that forest fire because now that's going to allow some Toxotes to come out and some abuse of sitting on the forest to come through. Part of me thinks that unless you're going to get a significant raid onto villages on a wood line, holding onto forest fire for the most part in this matchup seems to be just the best idea. As we do see one villager getting sniped down there. Good play there for Rapl as he has to pull back out. NJORD's going to be moving back over onto this wood line here as the unit's going to be moving through. Looks like Rapl doesn't want to take this fight just yet. I'm surprised to see NJORD didn't actually wall this off earlier. It's something that he's got plenty of gold in the bank. So a wall from this wood line over here to this sentry tower definitely could have kept one villager alive here for sure. So he's going to be kicking himself about that one. As we see another longhouse up now for Rapl as he's now moving away from mass Ulfsark into some raiding cavalry here as he does see the archery range. So playing into that one there as the Hippocon going to be moving across this map here. We do see a handful of Norse units just run straight past NJORD's Hippocon. They are searching around the map, still trying to make sure that this hunt in the middle of the map is not getting grabbed. As we see more units coming over here, the Hippocon going to be moving away from this position here. As NJORD's going to be searching around. Now we do have an interesting question in the chat here, which is or are cavalry a good unit to make versus full Ulfs? Are cavalry a good unit to make versus full Ulfs? Obviously not. Ulfsark have got a bonus damage against the cavalry. Ulfsark have got they've got also the speed with the Odin Ulfsark. I will be timing people out if they are going to be starting to even just troll with spoilers here. So let me just go ahead and just remind you guys, just calm the down. All right. Onwards and upwards. So Hippocon moving across the map here. Rapl coming in onto this location to push these bad boys away. We were trying to discuss why Hippocon might be an option here for NJORD. And I think in general, the option for the Hippocon is simply just to have an answer to the raiding cavalry is the reason why you want the Hippocon. And then you build Toxotes or you build Hoplites to deal with those Ulfsark in the classical age. But personally, I think that at this point, with about 70 population here, NJORD should just cut production completely here and go heroic age. And this archery range is maybe less useful. Maybe getting Hoplites here would be a better idea, with the idea of then having access to Paspist as well. As now NJORD grabbing a town center here. This is incredibly aggressive. Rapl may be able to force some sort of a ceasefire here and have a huge advantage moving forward in this game. He's going to be retreating back. This is a forward town center to boot. He didn't even go for the back town center here. And not only that, the town center doesn't secure a gold mine here in this game in the slightest, as we will be seeing an attempt to delay the town center ever so slightly. It's 81 population to 104 population. Thundering Hooves coming through for Rapl as well, as he's trying to wait for that technology to engage this army over here, as Rapl's units get a little bit stuck out there. They're not doing what they need to do. Couple of kills coming in as the unit's going to be turning around, getting a little bit of a fight happening on this other side as the town center is just about to pop up. NJORD's got tons of resources in the back, but he's not spending them here. As a handful of units getting taken out on the back here, the Toxotes trying to stay alive on the back of that location. They're garrisoning into the town center. He can drop them in and out of this town center. Lots of idle villages technically being forced here, as you got 12 idle villages in the town center, garrisoning into the town center, getting a 24 damage per second. Arrows coming out of that town center is a really, really big help there, as the Hearser retreating away from that location there, and Rapl gonna have to pull back, but he has gotten himself a very, very big advantage. Now, does he have an armory up here? Yes, he does. He is heading straight to the heroic age, but he does run out of gold there. Vitally important time to be not running out of gold. I wonder if he'll just move these dwarves over onto this gold mine for this point. At this point here, he does do that. The dwarves now making their way over onto this gold mine. Unfortunately for Rapl, a very vital delay in his heroic age timing here. We'll see if it's going to matter here or not, as NJORD is going to be scrambling to either get himself up to full population and get to the heroic age, or just simply go to the heroic age now. Wouldn't be a bad idea. He is still building units, so he's obviously not looking to get to that next age. We do see Rapl attempting to break down these walls over here to get some damage done onto the wood villages of NJORD. He does have these two villages over here, can very easily pull them back at any point there, as you do see a straggler villager trying to get some walls up onto this position to secure this this gold mine back here, it would seem. And now Rapl pulling back here, just checking what's going on. A couple of units getting an attack over here as the raiding cavalry with Thundering Hooves. They are starting to look very, very scary here. One extra upgrade that I wouldn't... We see NJORD. We see NJORD coming through for Rapl here, ladies and gentlemen. I will say that, generally speaking, Skadi is going to be your better option here. You're going to have a much, much better chance of winning with Skadi 9 times out of 10. But we're seeing Rapl go through NJORD. NJORD is going to be able to completely power through this town center. Ceasefire is not going to be enough to hold on to this town center. So this makes a lot of sense why Rapl is going through NJORD here. It is risky. If NJORD can manage to defend, it's going to be a tough game for Rapl moving forward, because he won't have access to the Frost Giant. He's not going to have access to the really, really strong winter harvest technology. So we'll have to wait and see if this attack is going to be working out for him. NJORD is definitely going to be having to use ceasefire here, and we'll see how things are going to be going on, as Aphrodite is also coming through. Rapl is going to be in for it here. He's going to be clicking his Walking Woods God Power immediately, but ceasefire will come down. There will be a curse for the fight moving forward here, as the army runs in. NJORD should buy his time as much as he possibly can here to get to the next age and actually get himself some upgrades here. As the walking Tamarix come through, he clicks the ceasefire arguably a little bit early here. I would have liked to have seen him just wait a little bit longer here in this game. Potentially like just garrison all of his units, retreat his villages back, get onto this back gold mine, get himself a little bit of gold coming through, get himself access to his like medium archers and heavy cavalry. It takes about 20 seconds to research that. We'll see if he's going to be able to get that out or not, as the Mountain Giant is going to be coming through, also getting access to the Atlanta as well. Wouldn't go astray to help him deal with those units here, but medium infantry, medium cavalry coming in means very, very scary time here for NJORD. This army is going to be so absurdly strong. Rapl decides to retreat back in this moment, however, though, wait, I thought ceasefire was over. Why would you cast Curse early there? You want to cast Curse right when the ceasefire ends. Rapl is going to be able to get himself back to full population here. His army is so absurdly strong. He doesn't have any armor upgrades. Wouldn't have minded to see like copper shields here or copper mail at this point as a second mountain giant moving in onto this position. Town center is going to be getting torn down. NJORD's army desperately trying to defend here. There are some Herso here to attempt to destroy that Nemean lion there. The Hippolytes are trying to do as much as it possibly can there to take out these units, but it's just not happening. The Rapl army is just so absurdly strong in this fight, and NJORD taps out here. Rapl is able to quickly, swiftly claim game 1 in this best of 5 series with an incredible NJORD timing attack to punish that town center there. I say it a couple of times. I'm going to try and explain why it is the case that a kind of delayed second town center in the classical fight doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The answer is that if your plan is to get a town center and have it pay for itself, it takes roughly 5 minutes to pay for a town center. Why? Because you have 700 resources you have to pay for, and then you have the 50 food you have to pay for each villager that gets trained. So each villager needs to pay for itself, which is about 50 seconds worth of training time, and then they need to pay for the town center. So it takes roughly, the math is roughly 5 minutes. So if you grab that town center delayed at say 8 minutes, 9 minutes into the game, your opponent is going to be able to have that 700 resource advantage for 5 minutes, which means you're going to get hit with a heroic age timing attack. You're going to get hit with a mythic age timing attack. Everything is going to be tough for you. It's just a really, really tough way to play the game. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible to win in those situations, but it is a very, very tough strategy to make work here, and Rapl really punished it well. It's a really great example here of why these sorts of delayed second town center play against literally any civilization is a difficult thing. Now, there is an exception with, say, Atlanteans, because Atlanteans have already got a boosted economy. They've already got an advantage in the economy, so they can grab themselves a town center over their opponent much, much faster. But that being said, this is not Atlantean, this is Greek. NJORD's going to have to go back to the drawing board and see if he can work out how to take Rapl off of his Odin in this game, or at least threaten Rapl's Odin in a way that makes him want to switch off of Odin. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.